So let's quickly look at who are the players in this market. What type of companies or actors or players do we see in the market? So that's on the left. So we have the manufacturers who design and manufacture technology products. We have a number of distributors. You have different flavors, different sizes. Some people are more, let's say, stockists. They deliver you the box and there you go. Other distributors act more as a solution provider. They have a strong training and support offering, and that can vary if they only do that for the home market or also for other vertical markets. It's important to know with what type of manufacturer you're working. Some of them do the distribution themselves and they sell to the installer. It's not necessarily cheaper, it's just that they perform two functions. They have a sales and training force and they manufacture and design. Others work with distributors that either have a lot of stock, ship very fast and focus on the product, and others help you with training and solutions. It's important for you to know as an installer that you are a customer of these companies. So there's no reason to feel inferior. And most of the time, I can tell you, you as an installer know more about the market, about the products and how they work or should work together than distributors and manufacturers. I, for one, have learned most about the market by working with installers or having been an installer. We'll look at the installer at your business a bit later on the right. But then I wanted to mention these three actors or players in the market. You have the specifiers. So that could be technology specifiers, but most of the time these are architects or sometimes builders. Then you have a number of influencers. You have people who call someone who already has a system installed. Influencers could be online, but also influencers could be interior designers who influence the decision to go with the black speaker or the red speaker or the invisible speaker. And then, of course, you have the homeowner. These three groups in green, I recommend you treat them as customers, all three. Look at how you can serve them, how you can help them. That's at least what I've learned in working as an installer or with installers. So the ecosystem is manufacturers and distributors, different flavors, different sizes, but you are their customer, yourself as an installer, and then you have three groups who you should treat as customers and finding ways to serve them. So if we go on the right and we put a spotlight on the installer's business, there's so much to say about this, but I'll just run through these 6 bullet points. The first one is, of all of these companies, this business as an installer of home technology is the hardest job of all. It's the most complex one and it's the hardest one. You negotiate with people who have a lot more money. You integrate about 100 to 500 different products, SKUs into one system. And when something goes wrong, you as an installer get all the phone calls. So that on its own makes that this is the hardest and most complex job of all. It also means it has the biggest opportunity of turning a nice profit and being important for customers. Second is count on a 50-50 ratio of services versus products. I'll not go into what services and what products, but that's a fair analysis as in value for your business. So you both have a service business and you have a product delivery business. The third one is that currently in the market, the installers are the bottleneck in the sense that all the products exist, all the customers exist, and they want what the industry has, but the pipe is not broad enough to get enough systems into the homes of customers. So actually, the installation channel, as we call it, is currently the bottleneck. If you flip that to a positive, you would say that installers are in very high demand because of these market dynamics, and also there is plenty of room for new installers to come into the market without having to compete on price, to the detriment of the quality of the jobs. So plenty of room for new installers and a long growth curve ahead of us in terms of what the opportunities are. In terms of skill set, technical skill set is very high. Almost all installers have been trained to a very high level technically. They continue to be trained. Most of that is being done nowadays by suppliers of products, of solutions, and that continues. But if we look at the business skill set, most of these companies are run by technical people who kind of rolled into this industry or setting up an own business and have not necessarily developed their business skills in the same way as they've developed their technical skills. The install company has the biggest impact of all of these on what type of solutions are sold, and certainly what products are sold, the biggest impact on customer satisfaction, and also the biggest impact on industry growth. If the installers grow their business, our whole industry is growing. That's been proven time and time again, and you could see that on very local levels in market pockets. So this is the summary from my point of view of what you should know as an installer about your own position in the ecosystem in the market. So let's finish off with a few trends that are undeniable and I think you can benefit from. The first one is that the home was already, but now has become super important for people. 2020 was basically an accelerator of the trends that were already going on, but that is not going to go away. The home is super important for people. Secondly, the home has become a multifunctional space to work, to learn, and to relax with the whole family. And technology is playing a very important role in all three of these. Two other trends I wanted to mention is that for architects, they now know that home technology is essential. That was not the case 5 or 10 years ago. Secondly, homeowners now see installers and the necessary technology as essential for their home. That was also not really the case 5 or 10 years ago. So these are two important trends on how customers, both are a type of customer of our services and products, have changed the way of looking at our market. And then finally, there is this new open source sharing growth mindset in the market, specifically with newcomers in our industry. And that could be very, very powerful if we all connect and we all learn from each other, knowing that there's not really competition because there's plenty of opportunity. So that can accelerate our own growth and how we learn and scale our businesses. So the conclusion to all of that is that the time is absolutely now to build and grow your installation business. So that's the conclusion of the introduction to the home technology market for professionally installed systems and from the point of view of installation business. I want to repeat, home technology is on the rise. It's a huge opportunity for the next 50 years in terms of market potential. And it's a perfect time to grow an installation company. If you have one already, push the accelerator. If you're doubting to get into the market, give it some serious thought. And to finish off, I wanted to give you a few industry resources that I find very helpful. The first two are industry associations. So you have CEDIA, Home Technology Association with their website there. It's a purely US organization, but they have great content. And then two resources I wanted to mention so you can keep learning from peers, from other installers. The first one I would want to recommend is this website, One Firefly. It's a dedicated marketing agency for our industry, but they do once or twice a week a very interesting podcast. Most of the people who come on the podcast are installers, so you can learn from peers. And the other one is a group in the UK called the Smarthome group, which is a group of about 5,000 installers who openly discuss trends, solutions, help each other out as professionals. So I will leave you with that and hopefully see you around in the market. Thanks.